to KilimoBora Mobile Learning Center. Again, my name is Rachel Kisilu. I would like us to continue with learning about sorghum farming in Kenya. Now that we were introduced to sorghum farming, I would like us to move to lesson 2, which will be on sorghum suitability areas in Kenya. In this lesson, we will be able to cover sorghum agroecological requirements and also the areas to grow sorghum in Kenya. This is because sorghum, for you to decide to grow sorghum, you'll have to learn about your area and the suitable places you can grow sorghum in your area, so that you can be able to start off on a better ground. The sorghum agroecological requirements include soil. Soil is the basic requirement for every crop and or each plant. So we need to have the best soils for sorghum. Majority of sorghum farmers think that sorghum can grow in any poor soil because, as we say, sorghum is hardy and well adapted to many types of soils. But for you to get the potential yields and the returns for sorghum, you need to be able to select your soils where you are going to plant your sorghum crop. So sorghum should be cultivated in deep, fertile, well-drained, loamy soils. But also sorghum can grow, as we have said, in a wide range of clay loam or sandy loam soils. But most important is that sorghum requires a pH of 5.5 to 8, meaning that very acidic soils will not be good for sorghum. Also, very alkaline soils are not good for sorghum production. This pH range at which most nutrients are more easily accessible to plant roots. So most plants or crops will grow well in this kind of soil pH. The other requirement is rainfall. Every plant needs water to germinate and to be able to grow and reproduce. For sorghum, that's why we are saying it's a hardy crop, because it requires minimal rainfall per season. For example, the sorghum plant requires a rainfall of 250 to 400 millimeters throughout the growing season. However, sorghum can also withstand drier conditions and still remain green at lower moisture levels. So, depending on the variety, you will find some varieties which can grow at a lower rainfall amounts or with minimal rainfall throughout the season and still give yields. However, some varieties can grow also under higher rainfall conditions in high potential areas. Doesn't mean that now that sorghum needs very little rainfall to grow, people in the high potential dry areas cannot grow sorghum. So there are sorghum varieties for their areas also. The other requirement for sorghum growth and cultivation is the temperature. Sorghum grows well in high temperatures. That is temperatures of about 20 to 35 degrees Celsius. It is because the sorghum grain formation needs high temperatures to be able to form. But cold temperatures or low temperatures will cause sorghum not to be able to produce grain due to humidity and the temperature, which affects pollen formation. For germination, sorghum requires a temperature of 7 to 10 degrees Celsius. If the temperature will be very low, especially the soil temperature during planting, some varieties will not be able to germinate. And that's why also you find that sorghum is a crop of the high temperature places. where can you grow sorghum in Kenya? Actually, as I said, sorghum can grow under a wide range of climatic conditions in Kenya. This depends on the variety selected for production. So when you want to grow sorghum, you assess your area where you come from. Then now you can look for the variety which suits your area. Generally, sorghum can grow in the coast, cold dry highlands, cold dry lowlands also, and the northern regions, as well as the humid dry areas. That's the general classification of the growing regions for sorghum. But actually, the areas suitable for sorghum cultivation include the coast region. The coast region areas are Kilifi, Kwale, Taita Taveta. In addition to that, Lamu and Malindi, there are some varieties which can also grow in those areas. So they have not been left out. Lower eastern parts where sorghum can grow is Makueni, Machakos, Kitui, and Mwingi. These are the areas where there are some varieties which can grow there. And then the upper eastern is Tharaka, Nithi, Embu, and Meru. So when I was talking about dry lowlands, I was talking about the lower eastern and the upper eastern parts of the country. So can also grow in the northern part of the country. That is areas like Wajir, Isiolo, Mandela, and Marsabit. The cold dry highlands also can also sustain sorghum cultivation, and this is Laikipia, Baringo, Kericho, and West Pokot. Now, the western regions where sorghum can grow is Siaya, Kisumu, Homa Bay, and Busia. So in these areas, each area or each site has its own sorghum varieties which have been improved to adapt to that certain place. Each region has its own target improved sorghum variety, and as I said, those varieties are well adapted to those areas. So that's why it's very important to understand the different available sorghum varieties, their areas of cultivation, and their uses. So in the next lesson, we are going to be learning about the sorghum varieties in Kenya, so that we can be able to know what variety can be grown where. Thank you very much, and goodbye, and God bless you for now as we prepare for the next lesson. Thank you.